Greetings, I'm Reverend Tiffany White Sage Woman. In this video I'd like to talk about balance. Many of us at a very early age have been taught about opposites and duality. There's many who believe that you can only have a dual type of being on this earth plane, and that is actually incorrect. For thousands of years we have been in a dualistic or separation type of society. However, which goes back much, much further than that, is a time when we all were living in complete balance and harmony with each other and with nature and with every living being. There wasn't any separation or any duality on this earth plane. That was the original status, and that is what we are going back to. And I would like to specifically talk about descend and ascend to kind of bring that thought home. So in the history books, and specifically too in the Bible, it does talk about the Garden of Eden and two aspects of beings, a female and male. All right? Now, absolutely Earth is a garden. Ask any scientist, and they will tell you that Earth is a botanical garden. All right. So it's a very beautiful description that we were in a garden, and of course there's a beautiful tree of life, right? And I'm going to talk about now the story of Adam and Eve. There's the tree of life, and then there was, of course, a serpent, which unfortunately has been misrepresented as being evil. But really the serpent is about choice. That snake represents choice. Okay? So there was a choice that was made to turn away from the light, to turn away from God, to feel that, okay, we can co-create, we can do this, we can do that. We're going to step away from the light. So no matter what the details of the story, the thing is that, I guess the final theory behind everything was that we were kicked out of the garden, right? And in that picture, it denotes the snake descending and going down the tree of life. So understand the importance of this descent. All right, that just showed that started the cycle of man's dissension, okay, of humanity's dissension. Since then, we have been trying to ascend, to go back. We have realized from our errors, all this fighting, wars, duality, and separation is not getting us anywhere, is it? Is it fun? No, it's painful, it hurts. There's no reason for us to live this way. We are pulling away from the doing and going back to the being. And so, again, without having to explain too much, it may sound like it's the opposite, but it's not really. And before I go more into this, I'd like to explain ascension. Look at those powerful symbols that master teachers, our elders, many of those have left for us in symbols. One of them is the medical staff. I do believe it's called the caduceus. There's two snakes going up the rod with wings. Okay? They're ascending. They're going up the rod, which could be represented the man's spine or the tree of life. And two snakes, one feminine, one male. You see how they're intertwined, going up that rod or the staff, with the wings, which represents our divine being. We are definitely on the ascension. We have been, and it is getting much more accelerated pace now. So know that this is a really great time. Even if it feels like everything is getting all shooken up and you hear so much in the news about war and destruction, all of that is imploding on itself. Okay, and so just keep your eyes, your third eye, on the whole ascension process. So some things do have to work itself out. But ascension and descension, opposites, really are not so different. Even in astrology, a lot of the signs have been described as they're on the same rod. Okay, like, and I'll use this pen as an example. And I will use Capricorn and Cancer as an example. On a chart, you'll see Cancer's on one side, and who is it parallel to is Capricorn. All right. So, and then there's other duals as well. Look at the astrological chart, or if you haven't ever kind of looked into that, delve into it. Like Taurus is opposite of, and I say opposite loosely now here, you're going to see the point in just one moment. Taurus is on the same rod as Scorpio. So they can appear to be opposites, but there is a common thread that unites both of them. It's in their differences that they exist as one. Do you understand that? There is no separation. There is no this or that. All right, go right to the center, to the neutral, and it consists of both. What does balance consist of? A negative and a positive, dissension and ascension, but it's balanced right in the middle, where it takes away that labeling of one or the other. All right, so it's a part of the whole. You can't break it apart. And by us doing that, that's what creates the separation. That's what we mean by separation, is you're trying to pull it apart. All right, and it's even like with the doing and the being. Really, we're moving to a state of where the doing is intertwined with the being. The being is more dominant, but it is harmoniously with the doing. Okay. And what I mean by that, sometimes even like techniques. Let's look at the holistic profession, so to speak. There's so many techniques out there for healing, and even for, let's develop our psychic mediumship, our intuition, our abilities. Everybody, because we all are different and unique, we're going to have different suggestions, different ways of going about your ascension process. So just know that techniques are tools, spiritual tools, that should guide you to that place of being. If we are to focus on the techniques, and I mean really get so focused on, are we doing it right? We blind ourselves from seeing that doorway, from seeing that path or that place or the state of being. All right? And then we fail to move there. So once we just pull away from some of that doing and step into the being, and then you're going to have that beautiful marriage of both. Now, the beginning phases of being may feel like absolute nothing. And some people experience that when they meditate. I didn't see anything, I didn't get anything. Think about space. Sure, we look up at nighttime and we see the vast darkness, and we see some lights, some stars. Of course, you know, that's pretty much the space that we're going into, and the being. It's in that space that we recognize absolutely, truly who we are. Mind, body, and soul, separate from anything that we have been told by others, their projections of who they think we are. Right? This is where we find our true identity. This is when we start weaving the doing and the being. Sure, I have certifications for Reiki and some of the healings. That is a tool, that is a technique that allows me to bring the being, to bring that healing. And so I just stand in the state of being and project the healing. Whether you're getting a reading or a healing session, to me it's just all the same. It's all healing. Whether, you're getting any type of counseling or reading, and sure, it's the descriptions are there just so that you can know what technique you're using, but the destination should always be the same as far as what you're tapping into, and that's the divine. And we can only get to that divine source in the state of being. So we can do a lot of doing And then eventually, whether we're tired, frustrated, or we just, oh, fine, I surrender. And it's in that little moment that, oh, I get it now. Then it just flows. And so one of the quickest ways of just being is, as I recommend, whether you sit, stand, lay down, whatever you want to do, and put your hands over your sacred heart center, right in the middle. All right, and feel. Quiet your mind. Don't let your mind start racing about all the things you should be doing. You're wasting time sitting there, laying there, whatever. No, you're taking time for yourself. Much needed time. And just tap in, take deep breaths, and just imagine your heart, sacred heart center as a lotus, as a flower, opening up. You're opening up and feeling that love pumping through. And that's what you're feeling, is the divine love coming through. So see, even my dog's second it. Yay! And so I know that was one of the things I had a hard time with. I got stuck with techniques in being a healer, going through certain classes, and finally someone told me, just be the love that you are. And I was like, that's so profound. I was like, can it really be that simple? But it is, because we have moved away from simplicity. Why do we have to make everything so hard and complicated and wrapped up in rules and techniques? So in that simplicity is where we find the being. So I hope this has helped you, and if there's any questions or comments that you may have, please feel free to leave them here on the YouTube channel, or you may email me as well. And thank you so much for watching the videos, and I hope that you subscribe to this YouTube channel so that you can see future videos. Thank you. Many blessings. Namaste.